I, for one, was blown away by that. That was such a good showcase by House Test and Metal Glen Solid. Be sure to give them a follow. It was up on screen, but if you did not see it, you can join the Speed Docs Discord and find just about anybody that you find in the marathon this weekend. So we definitely do want to give some attention to it. After Uncharted 2, we have Superliminal. Sorry, words are hard. And this is the glitchless run, but there is an incentive for a glitch showcase. Alrighty, so let me fill you guys in. Maybe you're just coming in. Maybe you just were like, oh, Uncharted 2 time. Let's see what's up here. So this is Gerri. Gerri is a friend of the show who has gone through quite a lot. You can learn more on Discord, but essentially she had started her own business and came home and her boyfriend had passed away, so has had to move and has not had the best 2021. This is a chance to help her kind of get on her feet, and any dollar amount that you can donate would help. I have got some updates for our incentives today. We are $14 away from our glitch showcase in Superliminal, $91 away from our incentive for the Dance Dance Revolution game in Ape Escape 2, and $150 for our incentive for Kingdom Hearts, who is going to be run by a personal friend of mine, Crispy Tacos. His incentive is to show off the Oathkeeper glitch. And I do see we got $5 from House Test. Thanks, Speed Docs and Gerri, for having me. Here's $5 for the Uncharted 2 incentive. Let's see that Donut Drake. And it's looking that's going to be our tiebreaker. That's going to be what we do. Also looking like we are about ready. So everybody give some love to our very own Aha! Keeping you guys on the edge of your seats. Yes, Wildfire. I certainly know how to read. I don't have a lot of tabs open. Mm-hmm.
You're the one that changed. Skating is wherever you make it. Now you're finally making some sense. What's the plan? What's the plan? What's the plan? Now you're finally making some sense. Now you're changed. Now you're changed. That's your deal, man. Skating is wherever you make it. It didn't change. You're the one that changed. Now go skate. You'll remember why you started in the first. You'll remember why you started in the first place. You're the one that changed.
All right, this time for real, with a much better introduction. Let's welcome in Wildfire, everybody. This is going to be Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, and welcome in, guys. We have Wildfire and Matt.
Hi there.
Hello.
The floor is yours for our incentives today. I'm not too sure when it is you actually pick it, but it looks like Donut Drake has won the Drake skin.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, we'll do that at the start of the run. Let me just lock screen share. Okay. So yeah, hi everyone. I'm wildfire011. I'm joined by Matt, who'll be commentating with me.
Hello.
So yeah, we're going to be doing Uncharted 2, any percent. If you just give me 1 second to do that. Okay, Matt, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Right. Okay, so I guess we'll just get into the run. So, game.
Yep, the floor is yours. Give us a countdown, and we'll start your timer when you're ready.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, we're going to be playing on Explorer difficulty, which is the easiest, and we're not going to be using a save file. So fingers crossed the game doesn't crash. Now that I've said that, it's going to crash, but we'll deal with that later. Right. So the countdown will be as follows. So in 3. So 3, 2, 1, start. Okay, and we'll select Donut Drake as the skin. Good choice. And thanks for all the good luck, everyone. So yeah, this game, we're starting off in a very dangerous situation. Just got to climb this train that's hanging off this cliffside. As speedrun openings go, it's not the fastest, even though it does look quite sketchy. But this game is very broken, so we're going to get into some glitches very soon. And the first one would be like at the top of this train part. Once you get there. So Matt, do you want to explain what we're going to be doing there?
Yeah, so when you get to the top of the train, you're meant to actually go through and trigger a cutscene, but if you roll off the side and climb up at a specific spot, you can actually get boosted into the air slightly and you can climb to the top of the train. And then you can basically climb or jump off the train and skip going inside of the train, which one skips the cutscene, but it also allows us to keep our momentum because after that cutscene you would usually get slowed down because, you know, if he's injured, he's been shot, he can't move properly, so the game slows you down a lot. But if we do this, we can still jump and all that, which you usually wouldn't be able to do. So yeah, you basically just roll off the side and then get boosted up and you can climb up the train.
Yeah, so this part is significantly slower if you're doing NMG, in which case, as Matt said, your movement speed will be heavily reduced compared to what we're going to be doing in a second. So we're going to roll off here and then climb up at a specific angle and get some height, and then we can climb on top of the train part.
No idea why it works, it just does. So
yeah,
it's good.
And what that also does as a side effect is it locks the camera in place. So if we want to see where we're going, we have to use photo mode to be more precise. Oh, yeah. But now the camera is like
you regain the
fixed.
camera.
Exactly, yeah.
There's still some cool stuff left to do in this chapter.
Yeah.
This game really gets like broken up in terms of glitches when we get to chapter 3, but chapter 1 and 2 do have quite a lot of stuff in them that we're going to be doing as well.
Like platforming, which hopefully I don't get too many of those jumps.
It's very hard in this game.
Yeah. If you play this game casually, you've probably like died a bunch of times just from like jumping to your death unintentionally, because this game is very well designed. But yeah.
Also, yeah, blind firing. When you're on foot and you're not in combat, doing blind firing is the fastest way to move. So you'll see him blind firing a lot when he's running. From the start of chapter 3, because in chapter 2 we don't really do that. You've got like a little dart gun where you can't keep shooting over and over again, so it's actually slower. But yeah, so you do that there in the train to move a bit faster.
And because this is a speedrun, we're going to be skipping all the cutscenes. Fortunately, the cutscenes are all pre-rendered in this game, so we can just skip all of them. There are like in-game cinematics, but those are like quite short in general.
And some of them you can skip by restarting checkpoints as well.
Exactly. Yeah,
there's
restart.
a little trick coming up where you're meant to like hit a trigger up here, and you're meant to fall down and then hit the trigger to end the level, but you can actually come where Wild is right here and climb through a gap in the roof. And you can skip that little in-game cutscene and just jump straight into the trigger. It saves a couple seconds.
Sure you know where you're going?
Don't I always? Don't you love the way the water makes
So there's a recently discovered like platforming skip here that is kind of tricky, but we'll give it a go, and I think I messed it up. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll just go the normal way. There are some like specific jumps you have to do there. There's also
that jump's pretty tight to get onto that ledge.
Yeah. You can also get ahead of Flynn here if you do this like on the first try, and they're like quite quick. But because I messed up one of the previous jumps, I didn't go for that because it wouldn't have been possible.
Oh wait,
But it's okay.
this can't be right.
Yeah, this run's done on
Must have made a
Explorer
wrong turn
because
somewhere.
it's the easiest difficulty.
Hey,
Enemies
what do
die
you
really
bet
fast.
that
We can't really die, but we
take
also
us
get a
right
really
to the border?
strong like
And from there,
auto aim.
we're in.
It's not as strong as in
Yeah,
Uncharted 1,
in
but it
like
is pretty
Flint, right?
what?
pretty good.
In like
And
Flint.
also
I don't get it.
in
Just
Explorer
give me
mode
a
you can't
boost.
actually collect treasures, which is weird considering the name Explorer. You would think, okay, you want to explore to find treasures, but they disabled treasures in this difficulty for some reason,
Here it comes.
Yeah,
which is very strange.
treasures and like any like stuff that's collected in your statistics, that is like disabled on Explorer as well, so nothing gets saved to your stats. Which is
Does
a bit
it?
weird.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Only easy or higher, anything will get like saved to your stats.
We're
Oh,
good.
so you mean like how many kills you get with like a certain
Yeah,
guns?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, those
Right,
things.
right, okay.
And
Yeah,
as
restart checkpoint here, that just brings Flynn a little bit closer. Saves like a second
Reach
or
up
so.
there and grab the ladder.
yeah, restart checkpoints have like a number of different uses throughout the run. Sometimes it's to speed up companions, sometimes it's to skip in-game cutscenes, like Matt mentioned.
I'll drop it down for you.
But yeah, we'll try and explain as we go.
Yeah.
All right. This is the way to the courtyard.
Well, we're not going this way. Not if you want to keep your skin.
All right.
You got
There's
it.
gotta be a shut-off.
So other perks of Explorer
See
difficulty
if you can
are
find
that
it
you
then.
get like increased ammo from picking up weapons, and you also have increased health, which will be really useful when we get to chapter 4 onwards, or like really chapter 5. There's also a little skip here where you can skip an in-game cutscene if you take cover against that window, and then like roll off of the cover.
It's locked.
It is kind of finicky. It actually
job I
isn't
came
as easy as it
prepared.
looks. Sometimes it can just randomly
picked
fail,
more
but
than
it's
one
only
of
like,
those, my
what, 10
friend.
seconds you
Wait.
lose if you don't get it? It's not a big
Yeah.
deal.
There's an
Around
alarm.
10 to a dozen seconds, yeah.
It's nuisance last.
Also, this door that
Right.
we're looking
Now
at,
what?
it doesn't actually exist.
Well, I can disarm it if we can find the junction box.
You're lying to them. It does exist.
No, it
It's
doesn't.
gotta be
See,
around here somewhere.
if there was a
It does
door, we would
exist,
have
though.
been
You're
blocked.
lying.
So yeah, you
I
can
thought
click.
you'd failed that then. Oh, man.
I thought I failed it as well, to be honest.
Yeah, so there's meant to be a tutorial there to teach you how to take cover, but in this game, if you vault over something and then press like aim or inspect, you can actually jump off of an invisible platform that it puts underneath Nate for like half a second. So he does that there to skip the tutorial, and then here, if you activate photo mode right as you're about to trigger this in-game cutscene, you can actually regain control during the cutscene. And then oh no,
This is bad.
that's bad.
Okay, I got really lucky there.
Oh, I saved it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, if you activate photo mode when you hit the cutscene, you can gain control during it and get up to those guards a little bit faster. But like Wild just did there, if you're too quick, sometimes they can't get through the gate quick enough. Wild was lucky there that it was just enough through that he could punch him.
Yeah, that was super lucky. Because that guard can like levitate like really high up on the gate, and you can't melee him if he does that.
Wait here.
So coming up next is probably... There's a lot of stuff in this game that is... There's got a bit of randomness to it, but this next area is just a big no from me. It's completely random whether you get spotted or not sometimes. So, and if you get spotted, you lose like 30 seconds or so. It's not good.
You know, I think I know what causes you to get spotted. I think it's like the last like vault before you climb up onto the rooftops. Because there's a guard like to the left. I'll try and point it out. And if you like vault like
Well, I've done the same thing for years, and sometimes it just doesn't work. And like, I've tried different setups. I thought I got new ones working, and I still just randomly get spotted. So I don't know. This area sucks to me.
yeah, no, it's
Don't
not
like it.
So yeah, this is meant to be like a big stealth area, but you can just run past everyone.
Yeah. Like, you're meant to actually kill everyone in this area technically to progress, but if you take the right path, you can get through without getting spotted. And I say can with a grain of salt because, like I said, sometimes you just won't, and you will get spotted, and it's annoying. Thankfully, it didn't happen. You can skip climbing up with this cart here. If you get onto the edge of it, you can actually climb up without having to move it, which saves a couple seconds. There's a load of little tricks that if you're watching this run, you might not even notice they're tricks. Unless you
Good
point
thing
them
one
out,
of us
because there's a lot of
thought
stuff
ahead,
that you do.
Yeah, a lot of subtle stuff that
yours.
isn't really obvious at first glance.
Yeah. But yeah, the speedrun for this game is pretty crazy. This game is the most broken in the Uncharted series. There's so many different glitches and tech that we're going to be abusing throughout the run, but like I said, chapter 1 and 2 is pretty straightforward. We do a couple of tricks and skips here and there, but like the game really gets blown open in chapter 3, and that's where you're going to see how broken this game is.
So yeah, right there.
Basically, if you take cover on that wall there, you can aim through it and actually get out of cover and jump to that ledge. Skips going around. So like 10 seconds, I think, something like that.
Doesn't it skip like an in-game cutscene as well? Like so,
Yeah.
yeah,
But that in-game cutscene is like really short.
that's true. It's not that long. Yeah.
And people do struggle with that clip. If you practice it enough and you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy, but for the time that it saves, it's probably not worth it if you're struggling with it a lot, so. I mean, another restart to bring Flynn a bit forward, and then Wall's going to restart again down here. And what this one does is it makes it so that it instantly puts the rope up for Nate to jump across without you having to wait for Flynn to throw it. So, very useful one.
Now, did I just notice is the dialogue changed because we have the donut skin on?
That's right. Yeah. So with the Donut Drake skin, if you pay attention to Nate's voice, it's lower than his usual voice, and that's like an intentional thing they changed just for the skin.
Incredible. He also looks exhausted, might I add.
Yeah. On the bright side, he'll be burning a lot of calories with all this platforming. So that's a good example of the auto aim kicking in. So there I didn't aim anywhere near him, that guard, but because of the auto aim, it lost onto enemies quite well.
Come on, Chloe.
Yeah.
That's my girl.
But Wald knows every facet of this game because he's ran pretty much everything there is to do on this game. Brutal, crushing, you name he's done it.
But the best category by far is all treasures.
I still need to do that again.
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
Sub 2 is free. It's so free.
Okay, we're clear.
Also, are there any donations that you can read off?
Nothing new right now, but I do want to give a quick
Ladies
little
first.
reminder to everyone that Oingus is acting a little strange. Sometimes you may have to do Control F5 or just do not click the add incentive. We are keeping track of things locally, so if we reach $275 before the next run, we will get a glitch showcase for Superliminal.
Damn it.
And that game is wild. It definitely messes with your brain.
Okay, now I'm screwed. Alright.
So another piece of movement tech, if you're about to roll, after you've jumped, you can hold the aim button and that will cancel the roll. So roll cancelling will be like a minor piece of tech, which is a bit subtle, so you don't really notice it that much, but it's
Yeah.
over the course of the run it does save like a decent amount of time. So,
You can
It's
also
working.
cancel it by using the inspect button as well if you don't have a gun.
yeah, which I just forgot to do, but it's okay, we'll ignore that. So yeah, now we're heading...
Now this is where the speedrun's getting good.
Exactly, so we're in chapter 3 now, and now we have access to the journal feature, and that completely breaks the game. So Matt, do you want to explain book launches in general sense, what we'll be doing?
Yeah, so the journal in this game you wouldn't think is very useful, apart from like looking at puzzle solutions, which is what it's meant for. But in this game, if you have a gun out in your hand and you open the journal, Nate has to play out the animation of putting the gun away before you can pull the journal out. But what the developers didn't do is they didn't stop you from moving when you do this. So you can press the journal button off of the edge of a ledge, and you can keep walking off of the edge of the ledge and like float in the air, and you can also jump off of that. What you can also do is if you trigger a stagger animation on a ledge, when you open it as well, you can also use the book to launch yourself into the air. Which is as far as I'm going to go with that at the moment in terms of explanations, but it's going to blow even more wide open in a little bit with the journal, because there's so many things you can do with it, but that's basically the grasp of what we're doing right now. A couple little things. So he's gonna kill these enemies here, and he's gonna do the first book launch of the game to basically skip doing some climbing here. He's gonna stagger, and then he's gonna open the journal and move, and you can launch in the air.
Yeah. And the effect of that is we're going to skip a bunch of fights in these areas because we're like avoiding certain triggers that would activate those fights.
He's going to do a journal extend here to basically jump over into the next area without having to trigger the cutscene, which doesn't spawn any of the enemies.
Oh, this is bad. Okay, okay.
Or
That was close.
that was close.
I really hate that journal extend. So there is an alternative way of doing this area that involves doing a zip, and so this is an example of a zip. So if you take a corner and you move against it diagonally, then you can get a journal extend, but you also get like sideways momentum. I'm also messing this up, but that's okay.
Yeah, it is kind of tricky. If you're too far back on the ladder, you can.
There you go.
You basically get stuck. Yeah, that's it. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and then once we get into like the next few chapters, we'll start combining glitches together, and that's when it gets like really crazy. Because you can like combine basically any piece of journal tech with another piece of journal tech, and they're like all used like throughout the run.
Yeah. Like if you've never seen the speedrun of this game before, it is pretty wild what you can do. And what wild can do as well.
Well, what any UC2 runner can do. Assuming they run now.
Let me know when I get a moment.
Yeah, now's a good time.
All right, well, we did get a $50 donation from Mama CJ. Thanks, Speed Docs, for helping a family in need. We always love Mama CJ. And a $2 test donation from Funyuns. I'm not sure if that one is properly going through, so if we get a few more people to give a couple more test dollar donations, that would be great.
Cool.
So next up is Wild's going to do basically the biggest trick in the game, which is the airwalk, where if you trigger a journal extend, but do it in the middle of switching switching guns, if you basically just press the journal button in the middle of the animation, it will soft lock Nate, and you can infinitely airwalk off the ledge. But if you press the grenade button right when you do this, you can hold a grenade in your hand, and Wild's going to do that here, and then he's going to use the grenade to knock himself out of the airwalk, because when you're in the airwalk, you're actually soft locked. You mess it up there. You need to basically airwalk into a part of the tree, because you need the tree to push you down, so you lose enough height, or you can't actually knock yourself out of the airwalk. But yeah, so he's gonna get the grenade in his hand, he's gonna throw it, and it's gonna knock him out of the airwalk. Because when you're in the airwalk state, you're actually soft locked, so you can't regain control. So we have to use other ways to regain control, and the grenade is one of those ways that we can do that. Yeah, there we go. So he's gonna get the tree to push him down, and that gets him low enough for the grenade to damage him, to knock him out.
Spotted us.
And you can imagine, you must be thinking to yourself, okay, so we can do zips, we can do book launches. You know, what happens if we can combine an airwalk with a zip?
Run!
Well, as it would do what you would expect, you'll zip infinitely really fast. What happens if we can combine a journal launch with an airwalk? Well, you infinitely launch into the sky. We're going to be using all these different combinations of things throughout the entire run. But in a sec, Wild's going to try and do a zipped airwalk to basically skip right from the start chapter 5 all the way to the end. But it is quite difficult. I think he said he was doing this program and he was going to do the opposite.
Yeah, so I'll give it one go just to like just show like how it's meant to be done, and hopefully get like close to the area that you're meant to get to. There's also a small skip there where you can roll when that truck hits the ground, and that can skip like a little stagger animation, so it's a bit of a few seconds time take. Yeah. But yeah, the main time save is going to be from the skip I'm going to try, and then when it fails, which it probably will, we'll go with the old way.
It is pretty precise to do. It's easy to get the angle right, but you're basically having to time a pause when you can't see anything, and depending on how much speed you have, you can either be too late, too early, it's pretty.
Yeah, and your height can also play
What
into
he's also
it,
going to do is do something we haven't seen yet, and that's a propane tank bit, which is, I believe this is the only place we end up doing it in UC2 at all, where you can basically throw a propane tank against a wall, and you can actually jump and latch Nate's hitbox onto the propane tank, and you can use that to clip through this wall. We need to do that to basically get into position to do the zip. It is kind of finicky sometimes.
Yeah, most runners don't use a setup for this. I have a setup which is semi-consistent, and Okay, second try is quite good actually. I'll take that. So yeah, we're out of bounds now. We're not meant to be in this area at all. So the game doesn't like that, so the background is completely orange, which is interesting. But yeah, so setting up the zip. We've activated the zip now, and we're going...
Now we're zooming.
Okay, I think I'm a bit low, but we'll see.
This seems
We've got
fine.
another very generous donation whenever you guys have a moment.
Yeah, that's good. I'm just waiting for the area to load in, which is why we're in this pause menu. And
Well, perfect. And correct me when I mess this up, but $50 from Derbotus. Good luck on the run, Wild. Everyone in the Uncharted community has always been extremely welcoming and helpful. Proud of you, bud.
thanks to... Oh, I got really close. So yeah, that area like that I was just under, that is where you're meant to end up. But I paused a bit early, so...
Yeah, there's like so many different ways you can do that. You can either hit the cutscene, you can end up in the area and then use the grenade to knock yourself out. There's a couple of different ways to actually succeed in doing that. But now we're going to do the old strat. So the old strat is we're not going to do a zipped airwalk. We're going to do a normal airwalk to reach a building at the end of chapter 6, and then we're just going to go into chapter 7 that way. But doing this way is about 2 minutes slower than the zip, just because of how long this airwalk actually takes to do. Because obviously we're not moving at like a super fast speed, so that's pretty good. This airwalk's pretty kind of difficult to sometimes get to go in the way you want it to go. Is that too far right?
No, it should be fine.
Too far no, it's fine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. So now we're just going to airwalk for like what, a minute and a half or so.
Yeah, roughly that amount of time. So yeah, the angle's quite specific for this airwalk, so if you're like too far left or right, then it probably won't work. Yeah, essentially we're just gonna be walking like this. There's like some stuff which is rendered, which is kind of weird, but yeah. So this skip like takes you to the end of chapter 6, so skipping the whole of chapter 5 and the vast majority of chapter 6.
We're basically going to end up in the building that's just after when the building collapses in chapter 6, when you're like falling down in the building. We end up in the building just after that. So you need to pause here to not get stuck, and then there's going to be a building you're going to see in front of him right there. So we're going to head towards that, and then there's going to be another building that's going to load in. And then once the screen goes white, he's going to wait about a second or so and then pause. And then as soon as the mountains in the background disappear, he can then unpause. And hopefully, if he's done it right, he'll be inside the building. Then he can knock himself out the airwalk. This one's pretty easy, to be fair. It's quite lucky that all the buildings actually line you up with where you want to go when you're doing the airwalks. Because a lot of the buildings push you in the direction you need to go, which is very convenient. And now he's just going to do another way. Oh, we didn't even mention this. Yeah, so if you trigger an airwalk in this game and knock yourself out of it with a grenade, you can then instantly trigger another airwalk without actually switching weapons. Don't know why, but it works. As long as you don't aim or anything like that, you can just instantly trigger another airwalk. And then he jumps to hit this checkpoint, and that puts us at the end of chapter 6.
Yeah, there's a faster way of like getting down here, but it's a bit risky, so I usually go for that, which I find to be a bit safer.
I think it's only fast if you don't do a checkpoint restart.
All right.
Yeah, you might be right.
Because
Yeah.
if you jump down there and die, or if you fail the journal extend, you're probably just better off going the normal way. Because the only reason we really do that in journal extend is because the other way is blocked off. So
Oh, God, that hurts.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm gonna find another
But yeah.
way down.
basically, in a sec is where that other zip would have put us just past here into the cutscene. So it's a shame you didn't get it, but it is really hard to do that zip.
Yeah, now when I'm going for PB attempts, I pretty much... I mean, I don't have to go for that zip, but it's like a pretty big time save over my PB because it doesn't have that, so...
Believe it or not, it's actually not the worst skip in the game.
Yeah, believe it or not, there are worse skips in this game.
And they're coming up later on.
Help me with
Yeah,
this door.
I'll give them a go, but we don't have a lot of hope for them, but we'll see.
Just keep moving.
They're still fun to
I don't
watch.
think anyone does.
Thanks.
Yeah, so Yep.
You can explain. You
So
can explain a lot. So
sure. So yeah, another zip airwalk coming up here. So this is the same concept as the one we did at the start of chapter 5 the first time, but that just skips doing a bunch of platforming and shooting a bunch of propane tanks to get a path across the river.
yeah. And it's good how, like, Jeff says, like, how are we going to get across while you're just zooming across?
Literally. I would also like a grenade. Oh, did they?
Yeah, this grenade isn't mandatory, but we can use it to do a little trick inside chapter 8. It's not necessary.
See anything up there? Come on,
Only saves
this
a
way.
couple seconds. Yeah, you can jump across this to skip having to shimmy across it. Saves a bit of time. And then I'm assuming that Wild's going to do the zip here to zip into the cutscene.
Yeah, so this one we do without like setting it up. It's pretty much just muscle memory at this
Yeah.
point.
It's really easy. It's really easy. Just
That's more like
as
it.
long as you know what you're doing, you just go climb right into the cutscene. It's pretty simple. So yeah, if Wild did have an extra grenade here, we would have done an upwards airwalk to get into the part that he's jumping to now. Basically, it saves a couple seconds.
Get a load of him.
This is definitely the right temple.
Yeah, there's like so many strats for this chapter. This is chapter 8. Like
Must be a hidden entrance.
it's basically one big puzzle, or like at least like
Wait, I've seen
some
this guy
like
before.
puzzles like grouped together.
Hang
mostly
on,
to do with
let me get a
platforming.
closer look at this thing.
Okay, nice. So in this game, if you hold a direction, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go in that direction. So I was holding upright there, and Nate decided to not go upright. So yeah, let's try that again.
What he was trying to do was do a little zip airwalk to the other side. Saves a couple seconds.
I think I'll just do the regular airwalk, just to play it a bit safer.
Yeah, usually you'd go over here and then jump across, but
Yeah.
doing a zip is a little bit faster. But it
Over
can be risky.
over there where I was aiming is where you're meant to go. There's like a bunch of platforming you're meant to do there, but of course we skip all of that because that's slow.
God, you're lucky.
And we can just keep climbing here just by aiming a little bit off of this little ledge, and you can basically jump right at the last second before you fall, and you can climb without to climb around as well.
We do have a $15 donation from Hey French. It says, roses are red, Uncharted 2 is fun. This donation is for Jeff to finish the run. I don't know if that's something that's easily doable
is
for you, but
No.
switch to Jeff's hint.
Wait,
chapter
this
11.
isn't just a dagger.
And
it's a
also
key.
Shu with another $2 test dono.
Well, let's
Choo Choo?
find out what it opens.
Thanks, French, for the donation.
Say,
Hey, French,
French is the best Uncharted 2 speedrunner.
that was literally what I was about to say.
Were you?
I was about to say that. Yeah.
It's true, that's what I think we both thought. Yes, we both.
did it do anything?
Yeah, French has found a lot of the skips in this game. So French, Matt, and Erims are like the big three runners who
Found the
have
door it opens.
contributed the most towards this this run that we're seeing at the moment.
You game?
Ladies first.
If you say so.
God, I'm not claustrophobic.
So which way are you going to do the zip up here? You going to do the
Um,
setup, or you just going to yell at it?
I'll try it once with setup, and then if I have to restart checkpoint, I'll try it once with YOLO, because the YOLO, like, I haven't practiced it, like, going straight into it, like, without restarting checkpoint.
Probably.
So,
We're going to skip going down into the underground part with Chloe, but there's two ways you can do it. You can either go to where the hole is, trigger it to fall, jump off, and then airwalk across, or you can do a zip from up here, which is a lot faster. But it also can fail sometimes.
Got me. It's opening up down here.
Okay.
yep.
I should calm down, Chloe.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, every time I did this is exactly what happened. That's why I stopped doing it.
Okay, cool. I guess we'll just do it the other way.
Yeah, so he's gonna. You can see there's a different coloured like platform. If you walk onto it and jump backwards, you can make it fall without her falling down, and you just there walk across. If it had got the zip, it would have just basically put us down here. It's not much faster, but it does save time. Oh, you do this from here?
Yeah, I do it from here.
Oh.
It's like it's completely free from here.
Basi-
Oh, I messed that up. Awesome. So you have to time the grenade throw because you're like moving forward too quickly. Like, where if you wait, then like you go too far forward, essentially.
Oh, so you've been trying to land up on like the bottom platform then, not the top.
No, the top one. But like, if you like throw the grenade too late, then you don't get hit by it.
Yeah, basically this is an upwards airwalk where you combine a book launch with an airwalk and we can go up instantly. But again, when you're in this state, you can stick to the floor. So all you have to do is get high enough to get to where the floor would be, and then you can basically just walk along the floor again, and then he knocks himself out the airwalk. This skips doing the first dagger. It says about 20-30 seconds or so. But you have to restart checkpoint here, or you cannot progress.
Yeah, because Chloe's soft locked, and we need her to do some stuff.
He shoots while he's running because it's faster than jumping and walking. Well, it's not faster than jumping. Technically, jumping is equal speed, but obviously with blind firing, you can get like more precise movement than you can with jumping. So.
Yeah, exactly, and especially around corners, it's more that you have more control of where you're going.
Yeah. If you're trying to jump like close to a corner, you're probably going to end up jumping against the corner.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Are you doing the upper zero here or?
Yeah. So there's a new skip which I found that you can do.
Oh
so
yeah, I remember you showed that. Yeah. You could explain anything, so I don't know what you do.
Sure. So the old way of doing the skip would be to do a slow rising airwalk, which is quite difficult to do because you need to like time Nate's movement so that it's not going at full speed. But I found this alternative where if you do an upwards airwalk from this position, you end up on the dagger, so you can just keep climbing it basically. And this is also a little bit faster.
I mean, obviously, that's faster than doing the slow airwalk.
Yeah, by 4 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, I timed it against yours and Aaron's runs.
I've never learned that then. I'm assuming it's easier though.
It's completely free. Like there's literally nothing that can go wrong, unless
Like
you.
the old route, the way you would do that with the slow airwalk, you'd need to get like a timed slow airwalk to the point where you'd be going to get enough height, but not too much height to go over it, but not too little that you go under it. And it was you'd have to time it really well. It was quite difficult.
It's very specific.
If
Yeah.
that's free, then it's good.
The only possible thing that can go wrong is if you airwalk too quickly upwards, but that's like really rare. Like you'd have to like really mess up the airwalk.
That's good then. I mean, I did see you post, but I didn't think it'd be faster. But if it is faster, then... Oh, also, yeah, in this game, if you take low cover and aim away, and then move, and then get out of cover, you can actually basically clip through whatever you were taking cover on. So we do that there to clip down into the... on top of the room a little bit faster than climbing down yourself. That's like 10 seconds, I think.
Yeah, around that
Something like
much. Yeah.
It's not much, but it adds up in this game.
Yeah, every little time save makes a difference, like overall.
And that stuff is like easy enough that you should be going for it. Like, there is some stuff that is quite difficult that I'm assuming Wild's not going to be doing. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there is some things that are quite difficult to do. But
Yeah,
there
like
is things that you could go for.
so essentially in combat sections like these, you're just going to be running past the enemies and blind firing with the Uzi as much as possible because the Uzi is really good and just melts through people.
Yeah.
Gotta hurry.
If you get melee hit, then that's really bad because not only is it like really slow, but it also does a lot of damage, even on Explorer, like a surprisingly high amount of damage.
Yeah, when you get punched in this game, you basically get locked into the fight animation. You have to punch them back. You can't get or else they'll just keep punching you over and over again. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I mean you can roll, but that's also like kind of slow, and sometimes you roll into like weird spots and can be a bit scuffed. But yeah, we got lucky though. We didn't get hit by anyone. I'm also switching to the pistol instead of the Uzi because
It's like a sniper.
yeah, it's more precise for the shots that we're going to be doing in the next area.
Yeah. So basically, the Uzi is good for like run and gun crowd control, and the pistol's good for like actual accurate shooting that you need to do here. Because there's a bunch of enemies we need to kill, so we're going to aim at them.
There they are! Stay down!
And Wild's a god gamer, so he's good at aiming.
I disagree, but yeah, the aim assist in this game is quite generous. Okay, so French for you. Gotta do this.
Jeff carrying Jeff.
Yep.
Come on, go Nate. I'll cover you.
Yeah, this level's kind of boring. We just have to carry Jeff. There's like one
gotta
trick
get
you
out of
can
there.
do, and that's
Barricade the
if
door!
you tap aim every couple of seconds, it stops Jeff from doing his stagger animation because it resets the animation. That's about it.
Nate,
You
we
can also
can't
do a
this.
checkpoint we saw here as well to speed up Elena.
I think we're clear.
Yeah, not really a lot going on in this chapter. I always forget when I switch to the skin that it's not the restart
Hold on,
checkpoint
quick to
menu.
my menu.
Yeah,
That would have been bad.
Come on, Jeff, you can make
flashbacks.
it. Come on, Nate.
You're gonna be okay, Jeff. You're gonna be okay. Stay with me.
Come on, this way. Open the gate.
Heads up! Elena!
Yeah, so Elena just took that RPG like a champ.
I'm okay.
She's okay, of course. Yep, she's okay. She's at it.
Chloe, get out of there!
Hey, over here. Go, go, go.
You gotta be joking. Come on, upstairs.
And Chloe tries to get ahead of you on these stairs and is a bit annoying. So we just need to make sure that she doesn't get ahead of us.
Go, go!
Can I just stand for a bad man?
Yeah.
But
Wait,
he
what?
would've won.
Yeah, he's fine, see? He's right here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We're awfully close.
It's Nate we need to worry about, like, where's he gone? Rip Nate.
Jeff is the new
New protagonist, yeah.
Alright. It's like Metal Gear Solid 3.
Up this way! Elena, come on, you gotta jump! Gotcha! Come on!
So coming up in this next chapter, there's a new skip that was found like fairly recently, but we need to get a few weapons first. So we need to make sure that we've got a pistol, a grenade, and a long gun. So we've got the shotgun here. So if you take,
Head to that water tower.
this might be too fast. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So if you like climb onto that little railing there, then you can do an upwards airwalk and then land on the roof. And then that skips like a whole fight sequence that you meant to do when you were like hanging off of a sign, but we didn't see any of that because we're just too speedy, I guess.
Yeah. You can also clip through that door there, but it's very, very hard. And it only saves like a second, so.
Get up here.
Yeah,
Of
when
course, Aries does that. Or tried to do it. I remember watching him do runs, he was doing
Gotta
it.
be a way out of here.
Crazy man. Now we've got the most interesting fight in the entire game, I would say. I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but this next fight coming up was the most random fight in the entire game to be honest, and how it worked. Why sometimes you could get it to end faster than other times, but one day I messed around a lot and I figured out that if you kill the snipers, the shotgun guys, and the enemies with the orange hats, then that's all you need to do. So you kill the enemies with the orange hats, the shotgun guys, and that'll spawn the next wave. Over here, you kill these. You kill them, then you kill the guy in the tower with the sniper. Kill the shotgun guy here. Then kill the guy with the orange hat, then the last wave will spawn. Kill them. And
Where is this now? Okay, he's just taking his time.
And now that's all you need to do to trigger the big guys to spawn. And I'm going to come over and we're going to wait. Because it's quite a time now until Elena will spawn with the car. And standing over here is a bit faster because we can get to the car a little bit sooner. Because the cutscene trigger is tied to the car. As long as we touch the car.
Yeah, there's also a death barrier, like if you like stray too far, so you need to not be too far. Okay, there we go.
And also you can just randomly get like one-shot sniped if you take too long as well.
Yeah. Do you want to explain train skip while I'm doing it?
Yeah, so if you take cover in this game, you can actually like shimmy. If you do like specific movements and stuff on the left stick, you can actually like shimmy out of the cover here. And Wild's basically shimmying off the train. And what's going to happen is we're going to end up floating in the air. So then we're basically going to be floating on the track, and the train's going to keep going around on a loop. And we're basically going to hit a trigger at the front of the train that's going to skip the next 2 chapters. But unfortunately, the downside is we have to wait here for about 4.5 minutes for the train to do a full cycle and then come back so you can hit the trigger. Are you going to aim to not let the show the camera spazzing out?
Yeah, I'm just gonna aim.
Yeah, because usually if you don't aim here, the camera would go crazy. So I was going to mention if you're motion sick, then you might end up puking. But as long as it's aiming, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be chilling here, just on the tracks.
Perfect time
Casually.
for donations because we have to wait like 3.5 minutes now. So
I'm also very appreciative. I am sensitive to motion sickness myself, so thanks. Our last one was from French, but I do want to give a quick mention that for our incentive updates, we are $5 away from the Superliminal Glitch Showcase. Ape Escape 2 was met, so we will get to see that DDR, and $100 away from the Kingdom Hearts Oathkeeper glitch.
I don't think there's any trivia that we could talk about on this part. But there is 2 ways you can end this level. If you did the clip correctly and you're in the right spot, you can get what we call an early cutscene, where we could basically trigger the cutscene about 5.5 seconds after the chapter switches. If you don't get the fast cutscene, then what you have to do is you have to wait an extra 20 seconds for it to play an in-game cutscene, and then it will trigger. I haven't got the slow one in a while. I came up with a theory that it was to do to aiming, so that's why I don't aim on the train anymore. Because whenever I do aim, I never get the fast cutscene. I'm assuming you haven't had that problem because you're aiming. So,
I think I will get the slow cutscenes, but that's because I clipped off a bit slow. Because I'm quite.
Also, if you clip, I think it's if you clip off the train at around over 35 seconds or so, you'll probably get the slow cutscene. If you clip off too quickly, around 17 seconds, which can happen, you'll also get the slow cutscene. So you need to clip off at around a certain point to be able to get the fast one. Also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
so,
are you going to switch the skin back, or are you just going to leave it like that?
Yeah, let's go back to donut trade. Oh, wait, actually, I don't think it will let us. Oh no, we can. Okay, cool.
I'd like
Wow.
it would be funny then if you fell.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, no, surely the game wouldn't do that.
While we are waiting for the train, Shu's coming in again with a $5 donation, and I'm now just kind of wondering, let's hit some choo-choos, maybe a $1 train while we wait for a train?
Good idea.
So
This
actually,
chapter is like a perfect time to, like, you know, have a toilet break, or it's like it's right in the middle of the run, so it's a perfect time to just relax
yeah,
before you continue.
I'm gonna release aim for like a second just to show you like what the camera would look like when you're on the
Yeah.
train. But yeah, just beware, it might make you a little motion sick. So yeah, this is what the camera's doing. Like
Pretty
if it
wild.
stays on the train, and now we're back. So it's just that for like 3 minutes.
I think if you let go of aim at a certain point, around the midway point of it going around, it's a lot more crazy than that. But obviously, when the train gets closer to where Nate is, it stops freaking out as much. So
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, Andy coming in with a huge $100 donation. Good games, good people, good times. Happy to help others. Well, it's a great cause for it, and I appreciate you, Andy. Also, Dark Whims, thanks for the sub.
So in the top right, you can see the timer. When it switches, when the red one switches to green, then it's going to set back to 0. When it gets about 4.5 seconds, if he does get the fast cutscene, he will trigger. It didn't, so now he's got to wait for the slow one.
Yeah, it'll be another like 20 seconds or so. I guess 15 at this point. Yeah, also, yeah.
The enemy just
Yeah. They're just chilling, they're fine.
I never knew they did that. But then again, I don't get the slow one. So
Yeah.
I don't. And then it will trigger that. So it's about 20-ish seconds slower than getting the fast one.
So yeah, also because the run wasn't going too well, we had to reset unfortunately. So yeah, we're back here in chapter 1. I know it says chapter 15, just ignore that as a reset. Even though it's a marathon.
It's giving me PTSD.
Yeah. So yeah, the developers do make you climb this carriage again, but fortunately it's a little bit different. It's a little bit faster. So one of the parts is skipped. It does, like, the game does it automatically for you, and you can also jump over here, whereas you couldn't do that before.
One thing you do have to remember is to remember you in chapter 15 and not do the skip on the top of the train to get on top of it. Because I did that once. It was very sad. Because if you're in muscle memory mode and because if you play this game, you're going to be resetting a lot. You're going to see chapter 1 a lot. And when you see it again, mind just instinctively goes, okay, I'm in chapter 1 again.
Yeah.
I've reset. You just accidentally do the skip at the top, which you're not meant to do in this chapter, because if you do that, you can't progress. So.
Shit! What else could go wrong? I'm so tired of climbing shit.
Yeah, so now you'll see what actually happens.
Yeah. And this time the camera angle is like this, so we're like jumping into the camera. But in chapter 1, if you were to do this, it would be the opposite direction. So there's another difference between the two. People have been looking into like a chapter 1 to 15 skip in a while, for years now. But it's not possible, is it, Matt?
Just
like,
ain't happening.
Yeah.
I wish it could, but like they put a lot of measures in place to stop you from skipping straight to chapter 16.
Yeah.
So if there was a way to spawn the enemies that were just about to fight in a second in chapter 1, then yes, you could do it. But without these enemies spawning, it's not going to happen. So it's a shame. Because you need to kill these enemies in order for the cutscene to spawn that ends chapter 15. So without that, it's not going to be there, unfortunately. But it would save a lot of time if you could do it.
What
Maybe
is
one
that
day.
doing?
Well, while we got a moment, we did get another $5. This from Young Punkfish, testing the test with this test. The test successfully. Still inconclusive. Might need another test, don't know. But give these $5 to Nate so he can afford more donuts. In case he doesn't want the dollars, put them towards the Ape Escape incentive. with that, we have actually reached all of our incentives for today. So thank you very much, everybody. There's still plenty of stuff coming on tomorrow,
Does anyone
and
speak
lots of
English?
runs. So keep it up.
Go somewhere. Nice boots.
This is the most boring chapter. You just walk.
It is the shortest
Walk,
chapter though.
walk, and roll.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's like this chapter's like a minute.
Yeah, you're also
Basically.
not meant to be able to roll, but if you use inspect mode, there's like a brief window during which the rolling animation is like active, so little
Yeah.
exploit you can do.
But after this chapter, we've got the hardest skip in the game, which isn't hard because it's hard to do. It's hard because it's completely random. Wald's gonna try and do it. 99% he won't be able to do it. I don't think anyone's done it in a marathon, have they?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no, I haven't. So
For good
we can
luck,
pet the yak.
yeah, for good luck, we're gonna pet the yak. There is a category called beast mode where you pet all 4 yaks in this village, but we're just gonna pet that one for luck.
Do you want me to explain 17 skip what you're trying?
Go for it, yeah.
Yes, if you basically just hump this rock right here, you can actually sometimes get launched off into the distance
It's quite
like
a
that.
drop.
But that was
Yeah.
a bad one because you got stuck. If you get lucky enough that you launch in the right direction with the exact amount of height you need, you can actually end up at a later point in chapter 17. It saves about 4.5-5 minutes. Oh no.
No, that one didn't work. either.
Unlucky. At least you got to show the launch off a couple times. But yeah, this is the hardest skip in the game.
We'll give it one more go
Um,
and then move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
You basically just use this rock to launch. You end up at a later part in the chapter. You pause at the right time, and hope for the best that you're in the right spot.
Okay, I'm just gonna trigger Tanzan and give it one more go, because apparently that doesn't lose time. Okay, cool.
This is maybe a dumb question, but does Chonky Nate actually make it easier to proxy off of this?
No, the skin doesn't make a difference, I don't think.
The skin's hitbox is exactly the same as the
No way
normal one.
we're
It just
getting across
looks
there.
beefier.
You did find something interesting out
What'd
about
you get
skins
there?
though, recently, didn't you, Matt? Do you wanna...
Oh yeah.
about that.
If you use the heist skin, which is the one that you would have in chapter 2. If you
Yeah,
if
good
you
luck
use
with
that to do like a
It's
journal
almost
extender or book
impossible
launch,
to
you can
harm
actually
it.
go further and higher because the animation to put the gun away takes longer. And I think you said that Eddie Rogers' skin also made a difference, but not as much as Heist Drake, I believe.
Yeah, Eddie Roger is also higher, but not as much as High Straight.
Yeah, well, obviously those skins aren't allowed just due to that fact now. But if you want to run this game and you want to use skins, you can. Just not the ones that actually affect the gameplay like they do. So, but you also lose time having to put a skin on because you have to do it after you start the run. So,
But for Uncharted 3, you can set skins before the run starts, so
oh yeah,
you don't lose any time in Uncharted 3.
but
We
skins
also-
are just mainly good for like marathon runs and that.
We've also got $9 from CJ, CC Never Eyes. Let's see those emotes if you got them.
Track, but there's nothing here. This can't be legit.
Also, we are $1 away from $500. Not a bad start to the day.
Oh, that way, sure. Those things bite, you know.
Also, yeah, doing 17 skips actually quite good because it skips this chapter. This chapter's quite boring. Although there is a couple of things we can do to speed it up. Are you gonna do the boost skip or no?
I'm not good at it, so I'm gonna say no.
Oh, okay.
When we get to it, I'll explain it, but yeah, I don't think I'll try it. I might try it once.
I mean, it doesn't save much time anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the big hurry?
But yeah, this is
Yeah,
mostly
you
just
can't do
platforming.
much in this chapter because we don't have anything. We don't have a gun, and we need a gun to do most of the journal stuff that you need, that you can do in the game. So because we don't have a gun, there's nothing we can do, sadly.
Yeah. The next chapter, however, that's when things start to get a bit more interesting in terms of the
Yeah.
skips.
The Chintamani stone.
Because we get a gun.
Must have been
Yep.
one of David's.
Although there is one skip we're going to do at the end of this chapter. But you also do this skip even if you do 17 skip, because it's basically right where you would end up. Oh yeah, so if you trigger this triangle prompt and like move into the rock at the same time, you can like boost up in the air
What?
and climb up the ladder without having to do this to get Tenzin to boost you up. But it is kind of finicky. It's not too bad, but it is easy to keep failing it. It actually saves a lot more time than I thought watching that.
How much do you think?
15 seconds.
Yeah, probably like a dozen to 15. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say like, what are you doing?
you died then. This
It's a-
game sometimes with jumping directions is just not good, and it's just weird.
No, that was just intentional throw for content. Pepper.
You gotta keep everyone on the edge of their seat.
I'll
Yep.
catch you.
Yeah, so in this next section coming up, Walt's gonna do a skip that you wouldn't even realise is an actual skip.
You owe me
And
one
for the
now.
fact that how much it actually skips, it's crazy that it even works because it's just so easy to do.
Also, we have to jump from a rope here, and this jump is actually very annoying. If you're playing casually,
you don't
then-
want to jump at this rope. If you jump at this rope from like the edge and then try and jump across, you won't actually make it. And you also have to jump early. It's weird. You think if you're swinging on a rope, you'd have to jump off later to go further, but that's not the case with this one. You have to jump off of it early, or you won't be able to make it across. Very strange. If you play this game casually and died here a lot, I feel your pain. I do, because it happened to me as well.
I think I spent like 10 minutes once trying to get that jump and didn't get it, and then I just gave up. But this was years and years ago.
Yeah, I remember playing it casually, and I just couldn't do it. It's kind of broken in the way they made that rope. 'Cause it just doesn't work the way you would think.
Yeah. They just need to move it like a little bit further forward so you don't get as high when you jump onto it. But yeah.
Tenzin,
Yeah.
you gotta get moving.
I mean, the easiest way around it is to just walk off the ledge onto the rope instead of jumping on it, and then it's pretty easy to do. Yeah, so this next skip coming up is actually quite funny because it's so easy to do, but yet it wasn't even found until the PS4 version came out. Because on the old PS3 version, you could do what we call a D-pad airwalk, where you'd mash the D-pad and you could airwalk. And you could use that to basically airwalk to where we're going to go. So on PS3, this skip wasn't actually found, even though it would have saved time on PS3 and would have been faster and easier to do. It just was never found. Yeah, so if you've played this section, you'll know that you're meant to like go around, fight a Yeti, do stuff. But if you just roll here in this rock, you can just climb up, skip it all. It's ridiculous that it even works. It saves like what, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And
How
it's
simple it is.
it's just so easy to do, and you'd think they'd have they tested that, but
I wouldn't be
apparently not.
surprised if someone did that in their casual playthrough.
But yeah,
Figure out where to go.
now we've got a gun, so we can do tunnel launches and stuff, and I might die here, maybe? Question mark? No, this should be
No,
fine.
that's fine.
Yeah.
You basically go around that, and if you got the angle decent enough, you can actually grab the ledge.
Little reset
Something's gonna get
checkpoint.
good again.
Yeah. There are so many ways to do this chapter, but the way that we do it now is both the easiest and
Easy.
also the fastest. So, good job, Matt, for finding this one.
Do you know, dude, you don't understand how long I spent in this chapter just trying to find a way to get rid of the old route, and finally glad that I managed to find one because it was awful.
Yeah, you're not meant to
Basically,
do
the
that.
old route, you'd have to do like a frame perfect roll, and even then, sometimes it just wouldn't work. But with this way it's groovy.
Yeah, so we have
So
to
we
do
zip.
a zip. Now we're out of bounds.
You can still fail this though, it's just not as frequent to fail as the other way.
Yeah, it's
The
definitely...
only part you can fail is this part here. You basically have to do a journal extent, and you have to go down, so you can lose enough height to jump down here without dying. but sometimes you don't lose enough height, or sometimes you get stuck, or something. It's just really annoying. Or sometimes you can get it, and then you jump and you hit the wall. It can be finicky. Wait, why didn't that work?
I have no idea.
Maybe Donald Drake doesn't go as far.
Mind if
Apparently
I cut
so.
in for a moment?
Go for it, yeah.
Much like our chunky protagonist here, we got a big boy, $101 from Kiwi. Thank you so much, Kiwi.
Is that just kiwi or kiwi champagne? Out of interest.
It does just say Kiwi, no message.
Okay, because I know a kiwi champagne. If it's the kiwi I'm thinking of, then thank you so much for that donation.
Yeah, so the skip what I was doing right now doesn't save a lot of time. It's like 20 seconds, but obviously time save is time save. All this does is skip going across the raising platforms with Tenzin. The only downside to doing the skip is you don't hear Tenzin going Don Charlie as you jumping across. That's the best part.
This is the best dialogue in the game by far.
Yeah, best dialogue. Shame we don't. I haven't heard it in so long. Do you even hear it in All Treasures?
Hey,
No, because you can still do that skip in All Treasures.
Oh yeah, because you get all the treasures in the chapter before you get there. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we do an upwards level there too.
Yeah, and that,
Trigger, because the trigger for this platform is still on it, all the way up there, so we can just hit it to skip having to bring it down. There's like a minute or so.
we're almost done.
Do we even mention that fact that you can't use journal combat?
I don't think we did, no. So yeah, you can't use the journal in combat. You can only use it when you're like away from enemies, but there is one exception.
There is one in
Yeah.
chapter 4, you can use it in the dig fight, the first dig fight, before you actually trigger the cutscene in the like the hut thing. We don't know why, but you can use it there.
Yeah, that's a weird one, but yeah.
Back inside! Get inside!
Yeah, these next two chapters are all in combat, so we won't be doing any journal tech, but we are going to be doing things. If you kill him, restart, gets rid of all the other enemies. You need to kill the enemies here, or Tenzin will die if you try to skip past them.
Yeah, some of the fights in this game when you're with NPCs, like ally NPCs, you need to take out certain enemies, otherwise those allies will die, which is not ideal, because then you have to redeem the section. Okay, that's not part of the program for you game. Yeah, that RPG guy isn't meant to shoot you. I might die here. Yeah, okay. That doesn't usually happen. Okay, he's not playing ball today, apparently.
You have to try and
So yeah, the second half of this chapter we can skip completely. If we go out of bounds here, this is the big skip in this chapter. We have to do like a specific angled roll, jump here, and then angle the camera. Okay, I have to do a backup now because I kind of messed this up, but that's okay.
Thank you, French, for this back. It's very good.
Yeah, good backup. 10 out of 10. I would agree. And then we're meant to have Tenzin open this door, but because Tenzin's not here, we have to just clip into the building.
Yeah. That saves like what? 30, 40 seconds? No, like 20. It's not a lot. Yeah, like 30, 40. I don't know actually.
Quite a lot. I mean, actually, at the right time.
It saves time, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
A decent enough that you should do it. Or you'll.
No, it's fine. Everything's under control.
That was. Get you. That rocket launch you out of it.
Oh, also another piece of movement tech I don't think we mentioned before. If you're going upstairs, you want to roll because it's faster than the regular animation. But if it's like a small set of stairs and you can jump over it, then that's fastest.
In Uncharted 1, you actually blind fire upstairs. That's the fastest movement, but in this game that does not work. There is a skip you can do here, but no.
Yeah, Erms does the skip. Well, he doesn't always do the skip here, but there's a skip that he does and no one else will do. Because it is
there's a couple of different ways you can do the skip here. Right? One of them's really hard, one of them's really easy, and then one of them is a skip where it doesn't actually save time. It's exactly the same. So, yeah.
And yes, Drake is large because of donuts. That is the answer.
I'm not bored by the way. It's coming up in a sec is the tank section. You can actually technically skip it. It's not really like a glitch or anything, it's just in the final area where you go to at the end of doing the section normally, it gives you a bunch of infinite rockets. And we're basically just going to run to the end and just use them to blow up the tank instead of getting each one individually as we go through. So
yeah, the intended way. Yeah, the intended way is to like get a bunch of checkpoints by like going through like a bunch of buildings like up to onto the left. But we're just gonna ignore that because it's slower. So
yeah. You can do this on easy as well, but it's
quite yeah, it's kind of sketchy on easy.
Don't explore it.
Yeah, one of the things I
don't get some like awkward climbing animations or getting stuck on
yeah, one of the things I said I'd mention earlier, but kind of forgot to. On Explorer, you have 150% of the health that you would have on every other difficulty, so you have like 50% extra health, and that means that you can throw grenades at your feet and you won't die from the grenade. You only like take like a big amount of damage, but you don't die from it. But from like easy or higher, if you do that, then you will die from the grenade. So
I think that's what put me off going back to Ultra is because I kept on blowing.
It is annoying when that happens, yeah. So this chapter is a massive auto-scroller. I mean, it's basically an auto-scroller, but you do have to do stuff. But it's on rails basically. So you just need to like jump between these trucks as they get exploded. Essentially, just for like a few minutes.
And I've known you to be very prone to dying in this chapter.
I died here on my PB, yeah.
You died in the last marathon I commentated.
No, I didn't die. I restarted. I just quit to main menu.
But that was on this chapter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was in the GTQ run, right? The Hotfix run. Because I did quit to main menu by accident at one point. I think it was here.
Basically the same as dying.
It's worse than dying.
So the only time save you can do in the chapter is reaching the second in-game cutscene. Only very minor though. They're like 2 or 3 seconds.
See that coming.
But coming up after this chapter is probably like the hardest stretch. There's basically a section where we're going to do a couple of airwalks and stuff, and if we fail any of them at any point, we have to do them all over again.
Yeah, it's definitely the least forgiving part of the run. Because like one mistake will get punished severely, especially if you do it like towards the end of the section. So it's yeah, it's really fun to be doing that when you're like on really good pace and you've got that pressure. Yeah.
I forgot to ask, are you playing this on PS4 or PS5?
PS5.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't make a difference, does it? Like I haven't noticed any difference.
Well, according to Arims, it loads slower, but I don't see it. And so if that's the case, why is he still using the PS5 version?
I don't even know. Yeah.
I just rather it's convenient, so.
Same. But yeah, there's like no disadvantage to using the PS4 version.
You got it?
Although there is,
Quietly now.
if you play the Japanese version, it is about 6 seconds faster due to an enemy dying instantly in chapter 25. But I'm literally the only person that plays the Japanese version, so.
Who hasn't checked?
And it's not even just due to the fact that like language or anything like that. It's just literally one enemy that he takes. It takes a while to kill him on like any other version. You'll see Wild do it later on, but on the Japanese version, you don't even have to shoot at him. Your AI companions will just kill him in like 2 bullets. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like those enemies are programmed differently or something.
I don't know. It's really strange. I don't know why it works. It just does. So I ain't complaining.
So here we have to kill a
Japanese
certain...
version does have.
I was just going to say, we have to kill a certain number of enemies before we can progress.
There's a death barrier where you don't want to go across this bridge, but you have to kill a couple of enemies and then you can go and you won't die. And Walt's going to pick up a bunch of grenades here that he can use for the next section too. So. But yeah, the Japanese version only really affects Uncharted 1, but it saves time because, well, I say saves time, it doesn't save time per se, but the jet ski sections have less things that can explode on them.
Yeah, it's just
I
save time.
don't know if it affects anything in UC3, I'm not sure. But yeah, those are the only things I know of.
Matt, you should find out, you should play some EC3.
No. Would rather gouge my eyes out. I mean, that might be a bit far, but I don't like UC3. Yes, you can airwalk here to trigger a checkpoint. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can also clip through the gate and then airwalk from there, but it's slower than doing it this way.
When I timed it yesterday, clipping through the gate was like 1 second faster or something like that. But it's like
Is that why Aim still does it?
I think so, but I'm not like entirely sure.
Let me know. Well,
yeah, it's not really like a big deal. So there's a zip airwalk over here that I maybe got. Yeah, okay. So this is my setup for doing it. There's like loads of different ways you can do this airwalk.
yeah, you can also end up on the 1 floor above, which is the best outcome you can get.
Yeah.
But getting there where Wild just did is super consistent if you have a good setup for it. But getting to the top is quite difficult. But if you do get straight to the top, you don't have to then drop down like you did and climb all the way back up. So I thought you were gonna die then.
Oh, yeah, same. I hit a jump and you just didn't jump. We do that sometimes.
I thought it was intense. I thought that was a strat.
No. No.
Yes, you zip across this bridge here. He's going to pause for a second, unpause. That stops you from getting stuck in the floor. And then he's got to wait for about 6-7 seconds. When the stuff disappears, there we go. About 6-7 seconds and you can unpause.
I thought it was 10 seconds. I usually count for 10 seconds.
No, it's only like 6. You don't have to wait that long.
Okay.
There you go. 3-4 second time save.
Well, yeah. 3 time save. Nice.
Yeah, you only have to wait 6 seconds and it'll load in.
So I should mention at this point we haven't got any checkpoints. Like since the start of like this series of airwalks.
Oh yeah.
So if I mess up
if you fail this airwalk here, you have to do it again. So
no pressure.
hopefully, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we're
It's
good.
groovy. I love how his butt just like jiggles. It's great.
Palmer like
He's
mentioned
he's
that
gonna
like,
hit- did he?
when I was doing like 5 to 7 airwalk in a marathon once, and like I've never like been able to unsee it since.
No.
But I need to angle the camera this way.
Yeah. He's gonna basically pause, and then as soon as everything loads in, he's gonna unpause, pause again, and that'll trigger a checkpoint, and then he's gonna restart. Oh, belly flopped.
Yep.
Now you can do another upwards airwalk here to get on the roof of this area, which it's quite difficult to do. But it skips climbing all the way around and then doing this next fight. Yeah, so he gets on the roof and then knocks himself out. And that skips spawning the enemies and watching. I think it's like about a 15-20 second in-game cutscene, something like that.
Yeah, around that much. Yeah.
And then you need to kill one enemy in this area. So he's gonna come over and he's gonna spawn the next lot of enemies. And he's gonna shoot one. And then he's gonna do a backwards clip to click down. You need to kill one enemy or the next area will not spawn. Or will not load in, sorry. I don't know why. It's weird, but you have to kill one enemy there.
If you restart checkpoint, do you have to still kill that enemy, or is it?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. I've never had to restart, so I don't know. Probably. No idea.
Yeah. I just test that sometimes.
There goes your day.
Yeah, the grenade launcher is quite convenient for this part.
Although this part's on a timer anyway, so it doesn't really matter how fast you do it.
Yeah.
It's obviously though, if you do take too long though, then it's slow.
Thanks for the rope, boys. There's nothing scary at the top.
Then you're going to restart up here, which is going to bring Elena further up a little bit faster.
And there's no point like blind firing or like being too quick here, especially jumping.
If you go too quick, she will actually slow down. So you want to go at like the right speed to make her follow right behind you, as well.
We're getting close, I know it.
And also, if you're too slow, then she'll go slow. Oh, you try to do this then.
Yeah. It's fine. I didn't
Yeah,
lose time.
if you trigger an airwalk when you're doing an animation like walking downstairs, you'll keep the animation as you walk downstairs, so that's pretty funny. Doesn't save any time.
Secret
It's just
entrance
for fun.
to Shambhala.
Yeah. And then next up is one of the most boring chapters in the game. We do some jumping, some climbing. There's nothing we can really do in this chapter. I mean, there is. You can actually skip. Oof.
You can also die.
You can actually skip a little cutscene here where Flynn catches you.
Big man with that gun, aren't you?
But no one does it because it's
Try to
quite
keep
difficult
up.
and it doesn't save much time. So.
I can't believe Lazar
You should try the clip to
hasn't
clip in
killed
that.
you yet.
I don't even know how to do it. You just smash triangle.
You just hold forward and
Boost,
that's
buddy.
Yeah, like that.
Buddy.
Yeah,
There's
you
like a
can
mini
get
clip.
stuck in.
There we go.
Yeah.
Also, this is great. So he knocks this boulder down for you to climb that. But you don't even have to use the boulder to climb it. You can just climb the wall.
Yeah, I was just gonna ignore that.
Oh, wait for me!
Yeah. Although it's annoying because you
about that.
can't actually climb up the
Great.
wall until he's knocked the boulder down. It doesn't let you, but I just find it funny that you can do that.
There you go, sweetheart. Get ahead of me. Go on. You better not be leading me into a dead end.
Through here.
I don't think you're gonna get your
Sorry,
through
we
there.
okay? I think Matt just disconnected from the call.
Oh no, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. So I just had a Discord
Yeah, I
notification
think
message.
someone else rejoined.
Okay, cool. That's fine then. Crisis averted.
Help me move this.
Aye, aye. Good teamwork. Just like the good old days,
But
eh?
I think he wants you to turn off your screen share.
Okay.
Apparently your bitrate's dropping or something, so he wants me to watch this one.
Okay.
Now, how did they get that cart there?
Cares, we just have to get up high.
It's like Stonehenge, isn't it?
No. Help me push this.
Look, I'm watching in full screen now.
Come on, girly girl. There you go.
Statue of your mom.
Okay, so there's not really much to do here.
Hope you can make that jump on your own.
Are you gonna when you're waiting for the guardian, are you gonna like do the backwards clip, or are you gonna just like hang off the ledge?
I'll try the backwards clip.
Nice. Looks funny.
Yeah.
The chapter's just got a lot of jumping, a lot of running, a lot of waiting. So, although this is technically the only memorization puzzle that we need to know in the rundown, right? This
Yes.
All right,
I
let's
think.
open it up.
I mean, chapter 8 doesn't
Apart
really
from the
count.
honest puzzles.
Yeah.
Here's another door.
Whereas this one you need to know like how many times to turn something a certain way. Whereas chapter it's just pressing triangle on the right dagger. It's not really.
Yeah, that's more like
Call that
movement
a puzzle.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you?
Because you're not like figuring anything out there. At least like,
Those symbols.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I remember streaming this a couple of years ago, and you were in my stream and you had to tell me the solution because I couldn't remember it. Well, it's really easy. It's just on the left side it's middle one, right once, and then right one, right twice, and then over here it's middle one, right once again.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Make yourself useful.
Yeah, there's no RNG to any of the puzzles in this game. It's all like set.
What are we grinding wheat? What is this?
Yeah. But coming up after this is the last chapter. I said the last chapter. I combined 25 and 26 into one. I wouldn't really count 26 as its own chapter. Just a boss fight. So I'd
Yeah.
basically say it's pretty much. And I've just got to wait for like a minute. So this part's on a timer pretty much.
Oh. Okay. Can you fit? It's okay. No.
This
It's fine.
is outrageous.
I know, I'm sorry. I can try it now actually. Got it. Dude. Okay, he doesn't want to take cover. That's fine.
You can like hang on the ledge over here and just wait, and the enemies won't attack you. Or you can also do a cover click to tip inside the floor, which is more amusing because the enemies just constantly run into you if you position it.
Yeah. We'll leave it up to your imagination.
You okay? No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Go, go, go!
So yeah, last stretch of the run. Coming up here.
They're everywhere! Keep going! Keep going!
So we finally made it to the lost city that we've been looking for, like for the whole game. But yeah, we didn't really get a friendly welcome, so we're just running away from not only the enemies we've been fighting, but also yeah, the locals. Yeah, not really having fun. Oh, also another fun fact about this section here: the friendly fire on Gerri and Elena is disabled. So not disabled; it's enabled, I guess. So you can just shoot them. Even.
Okay. We need to get the hell out of here, now.
I couldn't sleep for days after I saw that last time.
All right, let's go.
So this is the Guardian that, well, not this one, but these Guardians are like what Matt was talking about earlier with the Japanese version being faster.
More of those freaks.
Yeah.
So this one in particular, he will die in like one shot on that version, but he takes like quite a few shots if you're playing on this version. He should be dead, I think. Okay, he's one dead.
You have to shoot him a lot on this version to kill him. That's why the Japanese version is a little bit faster.
Yeah, I threw grenades, so I was hoping that would do something, but it didn't do enough. It's okay.
That's
Also, the Japanese version just makes it more consistent as well, which was the main issue for me, at least. It's not having to deal with him being annoying anymore.
But the best benefit of the Japanese version is in the Zarlich fight. You know what I mean?
The sap is flammable,
Oh, yeah.
just like the resin.
It's so good. So yeah, these vines you can just clip through. And now we've got the last airwalk of the run coming up.
Big sad. Final skip.
This place
Yeah.
really must have been something back in the day.
This
one
one,
can, like,
yeah.
I've actually
Feel
lost
kinda
runs to this because it's
haunted,
just
doesn't it?
sometimes if you're not in the right direction or if you're nervous, it's quite easy to mess this one up. And since it's literally right at the end of the game,
Oh, it might be too far left. It should be okay actually, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Question
my
mark.
stream's a little bit behind now, so I'm waiting to see where you are.
I'll keep it going. I think that's okay.
I think that is too far left.
Fingers crossed. Because usually I end up a little bit too far right, so... No, don't do this. Okay, I think we're okay. Maybe. Believe. Okay, we're good.
That looked sketchy.
It did look, yeah. It was quite borderline. But yeah, this is the last boss
If
fight.
I was doing the run, I probably would have reached that one, so I'm glad you didn't because it actually worked.
You think you can stop me? Bring it on!
Because I pet the yak. It's a good luck from that. Carried over.
Yeah, but you didn't get 17 skip though, so...
You will
Yeah,
not
that's true.
in the way of destiny!
But yeah, I mean, yeah. Right. So essentially for this fight, on Explorer you can just do like a few headshots on him and then shoot the sap when he's nearby, and the explosion damage from the sap will trigger the next stage of the fight. Now we're in the last stage.
This doesn't work that well on the other difficulties. On Explorer you do so much damage. To be honest.
Holy shit.
There is a faster strat to do this fight that people do, but it can be quite easy to mess up.
Yeah.
That way the world is good.
It's basically free that way, yeah. And yeah,
The final part is when the top is
yeah, timer will be coming up soon. Yeah, you can die like from jumping across this bridge if you mess up the jumps, but
yeah.
haven't done that in a while. And time.
Happen if you
Sorry.
get... There's also a funny thing that could happen on that bridge where if you stand on one of the rocks to the flip upside down, you get stuck on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny in the sense that it's funny, but if you're on a good pace, then it's not funny.
Get her out of here!
Yeah.
But anyway, GG, very good. At least you went underestimate. So.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to get underestimate, to be honest, but yeah. So when I set
it was time when he killed the guardian. It was time. I was talking, so that's my fault. We didn't hear him. So.
Well, hey, GG.
Thanks. All right. Yeah, thanks everyone for the GGs. Thank you, Speedox, for having us. Thanks for organizing the marathon. It was a lot of fun. And
Yeah, thank you guys for showcasing it. Great commentary, and I mean, this run was insane. So
Yeah, it's pretty crazy run.
quite a broken game, yeah. But yeah, good luck to all the runners to come. And yeah, hopefully we can help Gerri out.
appreciate it. Everybody give some GGs and give follows to Wildfire and Matt. We are going to go to an intermission real quick, and while we finish setting up Osmore with Superliminal, and we have reached the